Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the Movement Center and welcome to the Runner Series, where we break down the runner body joint by joint from the foot and ankle all the way to the head so that you can move and run like you mean it. Hey guys, welcome back to episode 6 of the Runner Series, and we are talking about low back pain. Okay, so for this one, if you're a runner out there, you've definitely had an instance of low back pain, but you come back, you're like, wow, I'm smoked. Am I right? Right? So what we want to do is work on this, guys, okay? So we have 2 tests to look at today, a release technique to kind of open things up, how to kind of maintain and improve that mobility, and then an activation for your core strength. So to start with, we're going to look at just standing position, an awesome chest hold that's shirt and tight. You really want to take a look at the lower back. We're looking at her just standing and kind of stand position. You get a partner to look at you and see how your back is extended. Is your hip lifted? Is it dropped? Are you kind of leaning back to forward? Are you sort of hunching forward? It's just good balance. Right holding here. In fact, you can take a rest down. So things we're looking at, if you're kind of overextended or back kind of neutral, and maintain posture. Because if you are running all the time like this, you bet it's going to hurt after a while. Right? So we want to make sure we're neutral. Another piece we want to look at is our rotation. So if we take Mark here and have him face this way, feet together, we're going to look at something we call global rotation. This is a functional movement, a sort of screen or test that we can do. It's a general mobility screen for the whole body. So we look at Mark, we have him twist to the left as far as he can, and as an examiner, or as a kind of partner, I want to see his opposite shoulder from this angle where I'm standing. And he's pretty good. Go back again. He's pretty good as he rotates side to side. So when he's running, rotation is pretty important for sort of getting your shoulders back and driving power. And if he just can't get that rotation back, he's going to steal it from somewhere else, and it's usually that low back kind of hip area. Good. So to work on that, the first thing we're going to do is get into the kind of thoracic spine or the mid-back to improve our extension. So to start this, I'm going to have Mark on the ground here. He's going to take this bad boy and put it on his back. Now, I want you guys to start this at the base of your shoulder blades. For women out there, kind of a bra height. For the guys, about nipple height. Right? I don't want you rolling your lower backs. Most people have a pretty loose lower back. So our elbows are in tight. Good. You can roll back and forth to warm things up a little bit. Perfect. And then once you're warm and feeling pretty good, you're going to pin the bum down. Elbows in, and we're going to arch back and extend. Perfect, to come back up. And you're going to work each spot a little bit and then move up the back a bit as you go. Now, Mark's someone who's pretty rigid in his upper back, so he tends to borrow through his lower back. So if he goes back, he tends to kind of arch and really use his lower back, and this ends up being a lower back stretch. So for someone like Mark, we want to make sure that he keeps that core turned on and just goes to the point right there where his upper back starts to bend, not, boom, blow through into his lower back. So for all you guys out there that think you're kind of, go all the way back for me, Mark? Thinks that you're really kind of hanging out and getting really good extension, you're really just stretching your lower back. We want to make sure you're really focusing on what you're trying to do, which is your upper back kind of extension and movement. All right? Thanks, Mark. So next thing we're going to do is get into that extension movement, right, to make sure that we don't have that over arch position, and that's going to be to work on our hip flexion. So, or hip extension, I should say. So leg back, like this. We did this in episode 5 for the hip, and we're going to kind of, it's so important we're doing it twice, right? Is you're going to squeeze your butt, posteriorly tilt or rotate that hip back, and then you're going to take that hip and turn it out, or that knee I should say, and get that internal rotation bias, so important for push off with the runners out there, and then you're going to hang out and just love life in this stretch, right? You're just going to love it, right? The big fault I see with this, guys, is a lot of people will overextend and really kind of hang out, and they, oh, this is so nice, right? But really we're actually kind of shortening that hip flexor muscle from the back as you're arching forward and lengthening on one side, which is kind of just not doing too much, kind of chasing it, as opposed to holding it stable and then holding the stretch in. You feel it a lot more, okay? So again, posterior tilt, squeeze, and lean forward, and I'll put a link to the full video there as well. Okay, and the last piece of this is going to be to work into some core activation. So we've kind of loosened this stuff, now we want to activate neutral spine, neutral core, control. So maybe we'll have Mark pop down on his back here. And we call this, a dead bug. We've kind of modified it to be a little bit cooler for runners, right? Because we try to be fancy. So dead bugs, if they die on the ground like this. Show us a dead bug. Dead bug, right? So knees up, and we want to make sure we have a flat lower back here. So Mark, first thing he's going to do is do almost like a crunch, and then hold this activation, but let his shoulders fall back to the ground, head down. But he's holding that 6-pack rock hard abs kind of position here. He's going to hold his knees up in the air at 90 degrees. Good. Up like this, his arms up like a dead bug. Good, like that. But I want him, just for the purposes of this stuff, to kind of go into kind of runner elbows like this. Good. And then holding this activation, what we're going to do is lengthen one arm, so straighten this arm up as you extend this leg. Good. And then come back. and you're going to switch. Beautiful. Hard to coordinate. We'll put a full video of this as well, guys, but you can do one at a time. You can see Mark's really having trouble coordinating this, but you can kind of do this once at a time. You know what? You can pop up, Mark. I'm going to show this once for you guys, just so you don't do it like Mark. And that's going to be on your back like this, guys. You're kind of neutral core activated, arms up, kind of down, runner stance. You're going to extend here as you maintain neutral core. I'm not arching or extending as I come back up, just like that, okay? Not breaking my core position. Really important for maintaining that neutral activation when you are in that runner's position as you're tearing down crazy KMs or miles, all right? So if you have any questions about that, guys, please leave them below, all right? If you have any comments, we'd like to hear those. Like this if you haven't liked it already. We appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more videos every week. And of course, move like you mean it. Thanks a lot, guys.